In this lecture, we will study IGC 1, Element 2.2. Learning Objectives. Discuss the main ingredients of an occupational health safety management system that makes it effective, policy, responsibilities, and arrangements. Introduction to Health and Safety Policies. It is an important document. It is the foundation stone for good health and safety management in an organization. It sets out the organization's aims. It helps to identify who is responsible for achieving these aims. States how the aims are to be achieved. Specific to each organization's requirements. Not to be confused with policy in the HANS management system model. Why might the health and safety policies of the two organizations be different? Why isn't there a prescribed, one-size-fits-all approach to developing a policy? Standards and guidance. As per Article 14, ILO Recommendation R164 requires employers to set down in writing policy and arrangements for health and safety management, where circumstances warrant it, in a readily understood language or medium. The three parts of a health and safety policy. 1. Statement of intent. What is going to be done? 2. Organization. Who is going to do it? 3. Arrangements. How they're going to do it. General statement of intent. In this part we do setting overall aims and objectives, complying with the law, achieving standards, reminds workers at all levels of their responsibilities, signed and dated by the most senior person, regular review, setting SMART objectives. Its meaning. Specific means are clearly defined and precise. Measurable means towards a target, quantified. Achievable means it can be done. Reasonable means within time scale and resources. Time-bound means deadline, time scale. E.g. review all 48 risk assessments within a 12-month period. While setting SMART objectives, it will be important to consider who is going to set the objectives, how objectives will be set at each functional level, legal and other requirements, hazards and risks, technological options, financial, operational, and business requirements, views of interested parties. Second, organizational roles and responsibilities. In this section, we have to do outlines the chain of command for health and safety management, identifies the roles and responsibilities of staff, usually includes an organizational chart relating to health and safety, shows lines of communication and feedback. This is a typical health and safety organization chart. Defines responsibilities for the CEO or MD is ultimately responsible and accountable. Management responsible for day-to-day management. All employees are responsible for acting safely. Competent persons, first aiders, fire marshals, etc. Specialist health and safety practitioners responsible for providing advice to support management and employees. The third part of the policy is arrangements. In this section, these general things come. Carrying out risk assessments, information, instruction, and training, accident and near-miss reporting, recording, and investigation, consultation with workers, developing safe systems of work, welfare and first aid provision, fire safety and prevention, emergency procedures, compliance monitoring, including auditing, arrangements, specific risks and problems, lone working, noise exposure control, vibration exposure control, control of exposure to toxic materials, control of crowds, control of transport risks, specific health surveillance requirements, waste disposal. These are some questions for you. How can a policy be effectively communicated? When should it be reviewed? The policy should be reviewed if some changes are found, like changes in key personnel, management structure, processes, technology, legislation, following an incident, as a result of enforcement action, after an audit, after worker consultation, passage of time, e.g., annually. End of Module 2.2. Some questions for you. What are the three key parts of a health and safety policy? What type of targets might be referenced in the policy, and where? Let's recap. In this element, we have looked at the ILO SH 2001 or HSMS, can be summarized as policy, organizing, planning and implementation, evaluation, action for improvement, and audit. Outline the ISO 45001 SMS, context of the organization, leadership and worker participation, planning, support, operation, performance evaluation, improvement. Identified the OHS policy of an organization as an important document, which sets out what the organization's aims are with regard to OS, who is responsible for achieving those aims, and how those aims are to be achieved. Explained that the policy is usually presented in three parts: the general statement of intent, the organization section, and the arrangements section. Noted that OS policies have to be reviewed in order to stay current and relevant, and that reviews might be carried out periodically or in response to changes.